How far along has Jeff come, and where's that discussion at with the quarterback position this week?
He's getting better each day. He's out there. I wouldn't say he's 100%. He's getting close. So he's out there. Had a good practice today. So he just out there competing. Both those guys are doing a nice job, just competing with each other each day. And I think Jeff will be out there at some point sooner rather than later.
I asked this role yesterday about offensive identity. You guys have one. I mean, how do you feel about that? How close are you to feeling like you're the offense that you want to be for the last half of the season?
I think we kind of know who we are now. The main thing in an offensive identity is you don't want to be hard-headed and say we do a certain thing and you may not have the players to do it. I think that we've kind of just kept searching until we found, how can we gain some production at different spots, and we know who those guys are and how to utilize them. And sometimes that comes through the air, sometimes that comes through a run. It comes through a variety of different ways that you can do it. But we do have an identity from a standpoint of we know who we can lean on and who can produce.
How have you seen the guys respond since Saturday?
Great. We really, after the game, we really challenged them. Coaches and players challenged each other. Just, we didn't play or coach our best game on Saturday. That was what was bad. They're a really good team. And then that just compounded it. We didn't play very well and we didn't coach very well. And so we came back, Sunday. Again, we don't ever want to be reactionary. That stinks, But I think that, we attacked it head on and really, peeled back what the issues were, and we're attacking them as coaches and players.
It's a loss. Massive the other day. He saw some things in Heinrichs he wanted to see. What did you pick out from his game? The play two, he gets deflected. The guy makes a phenomenal play on the interception, and then I think he rattles off like 7 of 8 for over 100 yards his next 8 attempts. So he's taking care of the football. He's doing what he can with his legs whenever that opportunity arises. I think he just keeps getting more comfortable playing the position and being out there.
Have you had a similar experience to this season in your career of losing your top 2 running backs, being depleted at the receiver, losing the starting quarterback after 2 games? Have you experienced?
Yeah, my first year at South Carolina, I had our GA, graduate assistant, was doing the playbook, and we had to pull him out of the office to play quarterback. So nothing new. Whenever you start adventures and you come into a new program and you start to build it, it's not always easy, and you got to be creative in how you attack, daily challenges. So we don't really look at it as challenges as much as opportunities to improve and get better.
Anthony had 6 carries. Anthony Grant. Was it a decision to get him out of the game when it got out of control? What was it?
We had 48 plays, and 7 of those were 2-minute into half and into game. So you really only had roughly 40 plays. So if you just do the percentages of touches, sometimes like Billy had, I think, 7 or 8 touches out of 40 plays. Anthony needs to continue to take care of the ball and do what he's been doing, and really, we're going to lean on him a lot these next, 5 or 6 games, how many ever we have left, to help us be productive in the run game.
How does Fleeks know, at that running back spot, having just been there a few weeks?
He's done a really nice job of, he's playing a lot more running back than receiver now. So, being in the meeting rooms with the running backs, learning protections, and he was in there on a couple of protections the other day, which was good for him. And I think he'll just keep growing and growing as much as he can handle. We'll put him out there to see what he can do.
What are the challenges or benefits to a short week from an offensive perspective?
Well, you get to get back at it. You don't have to, walk around doom and gloom. You don't have time to do that. So you got to, as soon as that game's over, head down and just start working for the next game. It's going to get on us quick, which I think that's a good thing. Our guys are ready and had 2 really good days of practice and competition.
How consistent do you think the offense has been in executing the game plan from week to week?
Not consistent, not to our standard. Up and down from, starting with week 1, just the procedure of getting guys on and off the field, and then the week 2, the crowd noise, the snap counts, the motions, the balls hitting people, fumbles, and we've cleaned it up from a turnover standpoint. The last 3 weeks, we've calmed that down a little bit, but still just going and not being afraid to do your job, not being afraid to make a mistake. Just go out there and trust your training. That's our next step, is just go relax and do your job and have fun and play.
What do you think the best thing the offensive line is doing right now?
I think they're doing a really nice job in the run game. People know we're going to run the football, so
they're stacking boxes and blitzing and doing some different things, a lot of movements that they're having to, kind of go through each game and figure out. You got to go through a couple quarters before you figure out what the opponent's doing, and they do a really nice job of IDing that and getting it under control.
Overall, Illinois' defense doesn't put up great stats this year, but they do have 2 defensive tackles that were all Big Ten last year. What have you seen out of those guys?
Yeah, very disruptive inside with those guys. They're kind of like their head coach. I mean, they're built to be tough dudes, and they're going to hit you. They're going to run to the football. Those 2 guys are very disruptive inside. I think they play a lot of man coverage. Those corners and DBs, they're on islands all the time. They play with a certain toughness. You can tell just off the tape. Just this is going to be a tough game, physical game.
You guys have talked about some of the challenges that you had on the road that were different from being at home with noise and such at Colorado and Minnesota. It wasn't Heinrich out there for the most part, so what do you do with him, or if he's starting, what do you do with the offense to kind of prepare for what do you think Friday might bring?
Just like today, Coach cranked up the crowd noise, just making sure that we're, and it's week 5, 6. We've been doing this together now, so it's getting smoother and smoother each time we go out there. But just cranking up as much noise as we possibly can and operating through that. Thanks, guys.